all our other moves, and with Diana finding her feet at home, I knew I owed her the right to decide on this one. Expecting her to nix the idea, I reminded myself that it would be a lot easier to just stay. Big deal, I wasn't happy. We lived in a city of ambition, not bliss. I had a good job. I was co-leading a new, diverse team charged with covering race in America and helping out with breaking news. Diana was managing a group of video journalists focused on social justice and millennials. Leaving might be great, I thought. Or it could be a misguided dodge that would hurt us financially as we stepped away from the higher pay scales of New York. It might even push Diana and I further apart. I'd seen the pattern before with other journalism couples. An international move, separation, divorce. I looked to Diana for guidance. She nodded and said little as I talked, but when I finished, she surprised me. She recalled the fun she had many years earlier as a visiting student at the University of Technology in Sydney. "That was the best year of my life," she said. "I think we should go for it." This is a book about taking one big risk, a move to the other side of the earth, that led to an exploration of many others and, ultimately, a dramatic change in how we live as a family. It's a book that began with the question Australia forced us to ask. What would life be like if we actively embraced more of what scares and excites us, with our children, with each other, and with those we barely know? It is also just a story of two parents trying to raise decent kids. Two supposedly brave parents who needed more help with risk-taking and community than they thought. Diana and I came to Australia in early 2017 somewhat blinkered, with the loud voices of American-made bravado. We were convinced Sydney would be easy compared with some of our previous assignments. Baghdad during the worst year of the war. Mexico City in the midst of a violent drug conflict. We weren't at the strongest point in our marriage, but like a lot of New Yorkers, we saw ourselves in the best possible light, as high achievers who yelled too much only because America was hard and our work was important. We needed a change, and Australia presented itself. Maybe we even believed our new country would be lucky to have us. Isn't that the American way? To assume that we're the ones with lessons to share? But Australia, one of the safest countries in the world, frightened us in ways we never expected. It found us wanting, not special. That was the first sign we'd gotten something wrong. The country did not throw open its arms. It demanded that we play along socially and physically, disrupting realms of our life we had long ignored. Up to that point, doing scary things had always involved work and big decisions. Do you raise your hand to cover the war? Do you quit your job before you have a new one? Australia made us look at everything else. The mantras that Diana and I took with us wherever we moved, choose the bigger adventure, do what the place does best, became enormous challenges for our entire family in Australia, where our bodies, minds, schedules, and even our identities were tested. It started with the water and our children. Within a few weeks of our arrival, the public school they attended had a swim carnival, where all the kids took a day off from school to compete in the pool, in every stroke, including the butterfly. There were winners and losers, and fear was not an excuse. There was no getting out of the competition. That should have been a hint of what was to come. But I missed it as I tried to make sense of the other aquatic activity all around us. In those early days, I often found myself stopping and staring with awe at children who were knee-high and mastering the tumultuous ocean, surfing, swimming, and joining a program called Nippers that made them mini lifesavers in training. There seemed to be clubs for all these activities. There seemed to be no drop-off-and-go activities. Parents volunteered to push their own children and those of their neighbors into the surf. Nippers, in particular, was a family affair. Time-consuming, frightening, thrilling, and extremely popular. I couldn't quite work out why that was the case at first, but I could sense that there was something deep and meaningful in the combination.